I'm going to demonstrate some of the troubleshooting things that we do on the Wayne burner on our SG15 and SG12. If the pump is on and the burner is on, you can see the green light here showing that there is water going through. If for some reason the water stops, then the green light will go out. The switch will shut the burner off. So the green light is key to knowing if the power is going to the burner. So the fuel pressure gauge normally set about 110 to 120. We set that here. The air guide is opened, set at the factory, so you normally wouldn't have to do anything with that. The igniter is what creates the spark. The primary control is what is the brains of the machine. There's a wire coming from the high limit. If your temperature goes up too much, it will turn the machine off. And so the burner will stop. The yellow wires go to the CAD cell eye, which is underneath the igniter right here. You see the fuel pressure gauge. When the machine is running, it's going to be in the vicinity of 110 to 120 psi. So that's set from the factory. You shouldn't have to do anything with that. Here's the igniter. That's what creates the spark. And I'll be demonstrating right away how that does that and how to test that. The primary control is the brains of the burner. It tells the burner that everything is okay, that there's flame, continue to run fuel. If the flame stops, then stop the fuel and shut the burner off. The motor that runs the fan and the fuel pump is on the left-hand side. So I'll demonstrate the machine if it runs out of fuel. So I have a separate tank here to be able to do this. As soon as the burner starts, I'll be demonstrating what happens when the burner runs out of fuel. The green light is on, so it's still getting power to the burner, but since there's no fuel, it will be shutting down in a few seconds. So when fuel flow is started up again, then we can push the reset button, and in a few seconds it will start again. So to know if there's spark from the igniter or not, there's two screws in the back here which I have already removed that allows the igniter to be hinged open. So if we hinge that open, and to test the igniter, the spark should jump across. And here's the CAD cell eye that I was telling you about, that if it doesn't see flame, then it will stop it off. Right now it's sensing the light in the room. So that's why the burner is not stopping. And normally there's intermittent spark, so it doesn't have to, the igniter does not simulate the becoming too hot, it shuts the burner off. The water continues to go through. This is the high temperature limit safety device that we have on the end of the machine where the steam comes out of it. This is a simple thermostat wire. There's no electricity in that, so it's a very safe operation. It's mounted on the outside of the pipe. The old models had one inside the pipe, and this one has proved to be much more dependable. So right now I have the burner running, and if the water were to stop or slow up and the temperature would go up, it would stop the burner. So if you will notice, when the burner stops and we come around, the green light goes out, and that means there's the green light is still on, signifying that there's still power going to the burner, but that thermostat has turned it off. It's similar to a thermostat in your house that shows that it's calling for more temperature. So if we reconnect it, in a few seconds the burner will begin again. On all of the burners, there's a motor on one side of the burner, usually the right-hand side, and there's a shaft and a fan inside, and that motor shaft extends over to the fuel pump. On the end, between the fuel pump and the motor, there's a plastic coupler that's actually a shear pin. So if you get heat that blows back through the burner, that will melt and stop the fuel flow. So that can be replaced by taking the tube. There's a screw on each side of the pump. Take those screws out, take the copper tubing loose from the burner, and the pump will slide right off from there. Inside the end plate, you see 4 screws. If you take that loose, there is another filter in there. Normally it does not cause a problem because the other filter that we use usually takes out all the impurities that might be in your fuel.